Sometime during those months, my next-door neighbor, who, as a result of his having left certain items of clothing hanging on the line for several weeks, together with the fact of his walkway being strewn with empty crisp packets, fried chicken containers, and flyers advertising takeaways and wellness cafes, brought in, presumably on the wind, for the city in which we lived was very windy, or alternatively by stray animals, I had for some time suspected of having committed suicide, resurfaced. Each night since his return, as I lay in bed trying to fall asleep, feeling a mute horror or sometimes a certain tightening of the chest that indicates the incipience of a panic attack, I listened to, for the head of my bed was pushed up against the wall we shared, the neighbor's nocturnal activities. Excuse me. At this stage, his interest seemed primarily to be concerned with home improvement, since I could hear, and indeed had heard, unmistakably, the high whine of a circular saw on the other side of the wall. At times, he seemed to be engaged in drilling quantities of holes, at others to be sanding vast slabs of wood. He had, it appeared, a veritable arsenal of power tools at his disposal, which he deployed nightly in the service of some important and secret project. Weeks passed in this manner, and the power tools and the mysterious uses to which they were put, like the search helicopters before them, became a familiar, even integral part of my nighttime routine. I meditated on these mechanical noises, wondering what effect their infiltration into my sleeping mind might have. I had become interested in the idea of rationalizing the body, and so I looked hopefully for indications that my psyche was taking on aspects of the machine. I wanted something beyond and far away from the brute fact of the body and the sympathy and repulsion it evoked in turn. I wanted a state of grace. I began, for instance, to have all of my pubic hair waxed off by a woman called Charlotte. By day, Charlotte waxed women's labias, my own included, and by night, Charlotte stood on the suspension bridge that hung over the bay and took photographs of passing cars. She had difficulty understanding what people took from personal relationships, she explained one afternoon as she applied warm wax to my upper thighs. When people drive in cars late at night, she said, they are, more often than not, driving in their cars alone. Often they are tired, going home from somewhere else, or else leaving their homes later than expected to meet some person in need of assistance. In these moments, she continued, their faces seem in a state of suspension, not quite expressionless, no, but with an aspect of hanging there, behind the windshield, in the space of the car, the windows up or down, the air freshened or unfreshened, in silence or with music playing. I feel more connected, more intimate with these people, Charlotte explained, than I do with my own family, many members of which I see on a daily basis. I met Charlotte every 5 weeks in a small room towards the back of a hair salon near the park. I was interested primarily in the pursuit of a pointless smoothness, a smoothness that was the after effect of pain and also of a stranger's impersonal intimacy with my body. And so, as I lay in bed at night, listening either to the neighbor's exertions or else to the helicopters and sometimes to both at once, I attempted to will my body into a state of pure instrumentality. Thanks. Good punctuation. One night, after the weather had turned, the moon hanging cold in the sky like the blade of a knife, I woke up from a dream about a moth extinguishing itself on a windowsill somewhere in Sussex. Through the wall, I could hear the neighbor sobbing, low and then louder, a raw animal sound. I listened to him as he went on in this way for some time. Yes, I thought, as I wiggled my toes under the duvet, each of us has the incomparable taste in our mouths of our own lives. We roll it around with our tongues, over and under, above and below. We hold it in, or else we spit it out. And sometimes we choke on it.